Today, our focus is on lobbyists, interest groups, and media, and their influence on politics. To begin, let's look at the definition of an interest group. It's an organization whose members hold a similar view or interest on a public issue or a policy that affects the public. The interest groups seek to influence the making and execution of public policy through engaging in political and public policy processes that we're going to take a look at.
We want a shrubbery!
Before getting into the details of what interest groups are, it is important to note that they are not political parties. Interest groups do not nominate candidates, focus on winning elections, or concern themselves with a broad range of issues. Interest groups simply focus on their specific interests. So what exactly do interest groups do? Well, interest groups are there to supply the public with information favorable to what the interest group is trying to push. They work to build a positive image for the group, promote the group's policies, and they oftentimes will use propaganda to sway or achieve their goals in spreading the information and support of their interest. So what type of interest groups are there? Well, most people belong to several organizations defined as an interest group. Most represent economic interests, whether it's business, labor, agriculture. Some types of interest groups are devoted to social or political causes, religious interests, or the welfare of a certain segment of the population. And then there's the other types of interest groups, which are of public interest. And these groups work for some aspect of the public good. Interest groups can take several different actions in order to influence the public opinion. They can build memberships, because more people equals more strength and more voice. They also shape public opinion, using the media to help influence what people see and think about these issues. They can use lobbying, and this is hiring a representative to help influence legislators directly. They can help fund PACs, giving money to an organization to help a candidate. They can take legal action, hoping to spearhead policy action through lawsuits, or they can rank legislatures, which rates members of Congress on how well they support the interest group's position.
Take it easy, take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own.
How does the country benefit from having interest groups? Well, interest groups stimulate interest in public affairs and serve as a vehicle for participation in the political process. As you can tell by the Fortune Power 25 most influential groups in Washington, they really are visible. Criticisms of interest groups are that they have too much influence disproportionate to their size and occasionally use unethical tactics for shaping policy. The Iron Triangle is the relationship between legislatures, the bureaucracy, and interest groups, and is concerning because there's fear of corruption or abuse of power. As you can tell by the visual aid here, with interest groups giving money to congressional candidates who later then can be elected, those favors or returns on policy shaping based on what the interest group needs could lead to corruption, possibly shaping policies that do not benefit the whole of the country, but just the few of an interest group.
Do what you want when you pop.
Here we go!
As mentioned earlier, one action interest groups can take is lobbying. Lobbying is the process of persuading public officials to take actions favorable to a given organized group, and this requires hiring a lobbyist. Lobbyists are usually paid employees hired by interest groups that have access to public officials and are able to present concerns of the interest groups with an agenda and the needs of the interest group. Lobbyists are sought after by interest groups because lobbyists have access to public officials that they have created over decades of time. Oftentimes, lobbyists have made connections with the elected officials through their own experiences or through knowing people themselves. Through these connections, they can get, by word of mouth, the ideas and desires of interest groups to the right people in the government. Another action taken by interest groups and many other groups in the nation is media. Media in politics is common. It's the use of various means of mass communication with different audiences. So it's everything from the television to the internet, to the newspaper, to the web magazine, your mobile phone, the radio, the cinema, even recordings. Not surprisingly, media plays a pretty big role in politics. Media is used heavily by political parties and interest groups in order to influence the political and public policy process. They also use the media to help set public agenda. By displaying things in the media, it draws attention to it, which then make the citizens urge the government to take action. And of course, media plays a central role in electoral politics, allowing the citizens to view the nominees that are running for office.
I saw it on TV. I saw it on TV.
The media ensures that politics stay intertwined. The press itself is considered to be the gatekeeper to the news sources because the media will put whatever issue in the public eye for as long as they need until it is addressed. This is such a pressing issue that even the White House has its own press corp, and this group of news media individuals have access to the president so they can correspond directly on ideas and feedback from the president on the public issue or policy that's being pressed in the media. It's even to the point where media stations are divided or considered to be conservative or liberal stations. So again, politics and media very much intertwined.